Hey guys, Crystal Grace here. Welcome to this pick a card reading, which is all about how does the person on your mind currently feel. We have three piles to choose from. Pile 1, we've got resistance. Pile 2, we've got coincidences. And pile 3, we've got interpretation. Quick disclaimer while you're connecting with your pile. If the reading begins to trigger you because it's not resonating, please trust that the reading may not be for you. Tarot responsibly. And definitely don't allow tarot readings to put you in a downward spiral. So with that said, let's get into it. Let's find out how are they currently feeling about you. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose resistance, this is your reading. I don't know, maybe this person feels like you're resisting, or maybe you feel like this person is resisting. So I'm going to accept commitment in the reversal. We do have resolving conflict on the bottom of the deck. I just want to go ahead, pull all the cards, and then we'll jump into it. How do they feel? The Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups. I was just going to get 3 cards, but we do have the Knight of, let's put all of this here. We do have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So it kind of gives me the impression, guys, like maybe the two of you don't know where you currently stand. Like, because the Page of Cups with the the Page of Wands with the Ten of Cups in reverse with the commitment in reverse sort of gives me the impression like this could be like a friends with benefits situationship. I just think there's a lot more going on here than what you realize with this person. And like, look at this guy. Like, he's quite sad. And she's like trying to love him, but he's just sad. He's in a really dark place. And I feel like she's in a serendipitous place. So I don't know if you're represented as the woman in that image, and the person you've come to this reading about is the guy like sitting in darkness. But this person might not be able to give you commitment at this time, right? How are they feeling about you? They could be sitting in a state of darkness, but they know they need to resolve this conflict for you. I think with the maturity card here, I feel like for a lot of you, you've made the mature decision to pull your energy away because maybe there is no commitment here. Maybe there is no, like, it is just friends with benefits. It's a fleeting romance, because that's what the Page of Wands would indicate. And it being complemented with the Ten of Cups in reverse would indicate like how they're feeling is that this is just a fleeting romance. Like, it can't be anything else. And I feel like it can't be anything else because they are not like, they aren't capable of love, or they aren't in the headspace to be in some kind of full-blown relationship. So you know what this gives me? That sad, soppy energy, like, oh, boo-hoo me. Like, we all had a sad story. And the thing that I find with these sorts of individuals is like, cut the shit. Like, don't be pursuing sexual relationships with anyone. Especially if you know that person has like feelings for you, if you aren't in the headspace, like, put your dick away and go and see a therapist or something like that, or put your pussy away, whatever. I never understood why people go and pursue relationships, you know, just on the basis to get their dick wet. Like, and fair enough if you cross paths with somebody who's on the same page, sure, there's no concerns or issues with that. It's with people like yourself, Pile 1, who have acknowledged that you're looking for a long-term commitment. You're very mature. I feel like you're ready to settle down here. And this is how this person is feeling. Like, they're fully aware of what your intentions are, but how they're feeling is like non-committal is what I feel. I think with the High Priestess, how they're feeling is like they've got unexpressed feelings and thoughts about you, and they are feeling like maybe they can hide this from you. But I feel with the maturity card, how they're feeling is like they can't hide their feelings from you. You already know. The High Priestess here, I would say a lot of you are very intuitive, witchy woo-woos here, and that this person, how are they feeling, is that you are fully aware that they're in a dark place, that you're fully aware that they can't commit, you're fully aware that this relationship is just what it is. That's how they're feeling. So maybe you guys are open to friends with benefits. Maybe you were aware that that's all this is going to be. And like that's the truth of the situation with the Ace of Swords here. So the Knight of Swords, though, throws me off a little bit because it can give the impression that this person wants to like be brutally honest about how they're feeling, but I don't know, maybe they're worried to brutally honest maybe about they only wanting a fleeting romance, maybe. So maybe they know if they were to be brutally honest about what their intentions were, it was going to lead to some sort of verbal conflict or hurtful truth, because we've got resolving conflict here, and this card can indicate conflict, verbal conflict. And the Ace of Swords can talk about a serious conversation that can go very south, right? Bad communication, unclear what one is trying to say. It can also talk about ignoring the truth. So how are they feeling? Maybe they're ignoring the truth. Maybe they thought they were able to give you a relationship, but in fact could not. Like they don't have the capability to do it. I feel also how are they feeling is like, if there's been any arguments here, like verbal conflict or hurtful words exchange, I feel like the resolving conflict leading the energy with the Oracle deck, like they want to write you a letter here. They want to write you an email with the maturity energy. Maybe they want to explain why they can't commit to you. And I feel like with the High Priestess card, they're aware that you already know. I think like you're very tapped in, or at least that's how they're feeling. And maybe they thought they didn't have to express or communicate with you or like, you know, express their feelings or their desires with you because you are intuitive, like you could be a psychic medium here. And the thing about people who date people like that, they just think they don't have to like communicate because you can read their energy, you already know what's going on, something like along the lines of that. Yeah, like I feel like this is kind of a bit of a messy situation. It's not overly messy, but I just kind of think this person might feel you're too mature for them. You're definitely in like cahoots with spirit is what I'm hearing. Like this person, maybe that freaks them out a little bit. Maybe this witchy side of you freaks them out a little bit. Like when you think about the Ace of Swords, it can talk about deceit. You know, and maybe this person has been deceitful and you found out, and that's why there's conflict here. I don't know. I just think that how they're feeling is that something's been communicated very poorly, maybe badly on their behalf, which has kind of led to some kind of argument here. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If that resonated, that was just a quick energy check-in in regards to how are they feeling. But it seems like this is a bit messy. I feel like with the resistance card, this person is resisting a commitment with you. You could feel very drawn to this person. This card, like this person could have a very strong spiritual bond with you, like a soulmate connection, very karmic kind of vibe. I do personally think like you trying to resolve conflict with this person, pile one, it's just going to be a cycle for you is what I feel. And you already intuitively know this, right? I feel like maybe with that maturity energy or the imagery I'm seeing, like, you know, this is going to be an uphill battle trying to get this person to work on themselves in order to open, like come out of the cave, come out of the darkness to be ready to receive love. This person can't receive love. That's why they don't give it. And although they can be really nice and gentlemanlike, or, you know, what's the opposite to gentlemanlike? gentlewoman-like, let's go with that. If they can't provide that in-depth, deeper level commitment relationship that you're looking for, then they're not your person. And there's no point wasting time and energy on a dysfunctional person who is emotionally like detached, because that's the vibe I pick up. This person's really detached. They probably sedate themselves in some way, shape, or form. You know, you're very compassionate, understanding, very empathetic, which this is how they know, like that's how they feel, like you're always going to be the one resolving the conflict, you know, giving them the benefit of the doubt. And if that's how they're feeling, then that's sort of like a toxic trait on theirs if they have no intentions. But yeah, I don't know. You've just got an uphill battle with this person is what I'm picking up. So I think with that maturity card, like the imagery, get your feather pen out and talk to your angels and, you know, change what you're looking for in a person, because you probably did the list and this person was presented to you. And it's actually like this person is probably still very similar to the other kind of people. So you need to rewrite the list is what I'm hearing if you've got a list of what you're looking for. So sending you all strength and love surrounding this situation. You know, walking away from somebody that you thought you had a future with is never easy or fun, but it is very rewarding because you will come across somebody else who is the person that you desire. All right, till next time, bye. Pile 2, coincidences. Welcome to your reading. So how is the person on your mind currently feeling? Sexuality, the garden, bottom of the deck, we've got self-respect in reverse. This person doesn't feel good enough sexually. Like, I don't think this person, yeah, there we go, there's the Nine of Swords. This person is if you cut things off with this person, like here you are focusing on yourself. I just feel like this person, yeah, Nine of Swords and Eight of Swords. Yeah, this person is really struggling if you've cut this person off. Sexuality definitely tells me, like when it's in reverse, maybe how this person's feeling is you're not attracted to their sexuality. Maybe they're confused about their own sexuality here. I'm hearing I doubt that is what I'm hearing. There's no way that this person could be questioning their sexuality, but you never know. Like some people can be bisexual and they don't realize that until they go and explore that. I don't know. I haven't really tapped into the whole sexual identity stuff because I just go with your flow. If that's what you want to focus on, you do it. It's never been of interest to me. I don't really see it as it defining a person. Like whatever your sexuality is, as long as you're not a fuckwit, that's all that matters, right? You do you. As long as it's not hurting anyone, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the sexuality, I definitely feel with the self-respect in reverse, how this person is feeling is that you're not attracted to them. Like they're not going to be able to meet your sexual desires. And I feel like the self-respect in reverse, this person has no self-respect. Now, the thing about a person who has no self-respect and they're in a sexual era, obviously high body count, maybe how are they feeling? Like they could be thinking that about you. You have no self-respect when it comes to your sexuality. So we've got to rip the Band-Aid off. It could be seen in that point of view. You know, like you may allow anyone into your garden. Now, the thing about people who have that mindset of pretty toxic in my opinion. Again, people who define people by their sexuality or their sexual history are people with no substance, right? Are people who have issues with internal issues within themselves. And that's from my experience. I've dealt with people who've had an issue with my body count and the way they reacted and responded to it was very abusive and aggressive, or because, you know, they've lived in a tiny town their whole life and I've traveled the world. So I've traveled the world. I've lived in major cities. I've been single most of my life if I had to like really weigh up the years. And of course I'm going to have a higher body count than somebody who hasn't left a fucking town their whole life, right? who's been in 3 long-term relationships. Jesus, some people are just so ignorant and fucked in the head. So anyway, I digress. So that could resonate with you in that sense. But again, I've never really given a fuck about somebody's sexuality. I don't care. I don't want to know, like, your business, like, in that sense. I want to know what, like, your goals are, your dreams are. And I feel like you guys are like that as well for this energy to be coming through. So this person is very much in a state of a head spin about you. They're not sleeping. You're very much on their mind. I also want to come back to the coincidence energy. I feel like this person doesn't see this connection as coincidental. They see it as fate. And I think they're very trapped on you. I think they're very, like, stuck on you as well. I think with the 8 of Wands in reverse, like, how are they feeling is they can't communicate or tell you how they're feeling. I feel like if they have called out your sexuality in a derogative manner, they're regretting it. I feel like the fact that the garden has come out to say how are they feeling is like their inner peace is disturbed. Like, being with you was like being in a beautiful garden, and now you're obviously in some form of separation here, I would say, because of the initial energy coming through with the oracle cards. But the 9 of Swords would say that this person is very is feeling really guilty about what they've said to you or what they've done to you. They're imagining the worst, probably thinking you're never going to return to them. I just feel like this person acted in a way that was very derogative or out of line is what I'm hearing towards you. And you did not, like, I feel like you did not give them an opportunity to redeem themselves. I feel like you just pulled your energy back. For some of you, you've completely how they're feeling, you've completely taken their happiness away. I feel like they're sitting in a state of overthinking. So how are they feeling? It's not so much they're feeling really guilty, but they're completely overthinking about everything that's unfolded between the two of you. So in hindsight, if you've come to this reading and everything's going smoothly, obviously opt off. This is not your reading. This is for people where shit has gone down about sexual intimacy here or something to do with sexuality, and it has backfired on your person because you didn't stand for what they put down, is what I'm hearing. The 8 of Swords as the overall energy is definitely confirming they're very stuck and cornered. They're very insecure as well, and they're feeling unsure how to, like, get out of this situation they've put the two of you in. There's a lot of fear and doubt within this person. Like, I think for a lot of you, they've lost you in where you're at. You know that you will not return there. So maybe you've just come here to understand, like, how an ex is feeling. Let me know if that's what's going on here, and then I understand. You can just put a little Y in the comments. But yeah, the 8 of Wands would indicate, like, this person is feeling like they acted very rashly, and now this connection's at a standstill. There's delayed messages, you're not responding, you're not giving a fuck about them anymore, you don't care about their well-being anymore is how they're feeling. Just really bad energy is what I'm feeling. Like, this person feels bad, but they feel even worse knowing that there's no happily ever after with you. For some of you, how they're feeling is that you've moved on to a stable and more committed relationship. One that might be resulting in you moving in with a new lover with that 4 of Wands. But I feel for most of you, that 4 of Wands coming out is confirming that garden energy. They've totally missed an opportunity to have a stable, committed relationship with somebody because they were too focused on something about you that they thought was beneath them. So you definitely sidestepped an abuser here. They might not have been a physical abuser, but I feel like they emotionally abused you. and you've definitely done the right thing. It wasn't a coincidence that you met this person. I think you met this person to tap into self-love, self-worth, and self-respect, because this person doesn't have any self-respect. When somebody tries to take somebody's self-respect away, they don't have self-respect. You know, they're fucked in the head, really. But that's what I've got for you guys. That's how that motherfucker is feeling. So until next time, I'll see you then. Bye. Pile 3, those of you who chose interpretation, welcome to your reading. Let's see, how is the person on your mind currently feeling? We have inner peace. The thing about this image, I feel like the brain, or like something's been cracked wide open, and it may be affecting the inner peace. We've got Sacred Woman in reverse. On the bottom of the deck, we've got Distorted Masculine. Ooh. Ooh. So, bank, police. That guy looks disheveled as fuck. Look at him. He's got he's clocking, everything, like he's picking up change. What's going on here? I'm just going to pull the tarot and I'll connect. Show me how this person is feeling. A few stories are coming through. This could be a work thing, a work lover. Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. We've got Hangman. Okay. All right, so one main message coming through, right, this distorted masculine energy, somebody's looking at you as the distorted masculine, right? Or how they're feeling is like they are the distorted masculine. They've fucked up your inner peace, the sacred woman that you were, or the sacred man that you were, because women can act like a distorted masculine as well, right? So we'll keep genders out of it to make this more of an easier reading for me to deliver and you to listen to. So I would say this person, how they're feeling is like they've imposed some sort of like dilemma, drama into your world is what I feel. You know, they've brought their toxic masculinity to your front doorstep, and it has affected your inner peace. It has affected the woman or the man that you are. I'm hearing that how are they feeling is that they've been brought to their knees because maybe they brought you to yours. So this could be a past ex, or this is somebody you're dealing with at this time. But I feel like for a lot of you, this person and you are on a very toxic cycle. I kind of feel like something got blown out of proportion, and maybe this person acted in a way that once they acted like that, they couldn't take it back. Because once you say something or do something, you can't take it back. And this whole bullshit of, oh, it was the heat of the moment, I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. That doesn't cut it for me. Like, you know, grow the fuck up and be a good person, and, you know, Sweety will come and bless you with her time and energy. So I don't know. I could be way off with this, but we'll see. I definitely feel like if the shoe's on the other foot and this person feels like you're the distorted masculine, or you're the one who presented toxic masculinity, then they're feeling like you've ruined their inner peace. They feel like you've intervened or you've hindered their sacredness. Like this person, like either this person or you feels in a very vulnerable state. Right. So that's as much, I've got to look at it from two angles here. How are they feeling? Either that they've fucked you up or you fucked them up. So take it as it resonates. Maybe both of you fucked each other up. Okay. Maybe you're both to blame here as well. Like maybe you both matched each other's energy and it just went really downhill really, really quickly. And that's also how they're feeling. So interpretation is like monkey see, monkey do coming through. Like you both maybe mirrored each other's behavior. And naturally when people do that, it's going to come to a head, right? Shit's going to get real pretty quickly, depending how toxic this shit gets. So take it as it resonates. I feel like with the Three of Pentacles, though, how they're feeling, it's like they want to put the effort in to come back into union here. Like they're feeling like, yeah, okay, I've fucked their inner peace. I've brought them to their knees, or they've done it to me. But we work really well together. When everything's good, it's good. You know, we were building a solid partnership. We were both putting in the effort. And then next minute we were unable to work together. So maybe how they're feeling is more about how they're thinking. You know, and that interpretation card looks more about thoughts and thinking as opposed to feelings for me. So they're definitely processing everything that's unfolded here. I definitely think how they're feeling or thinking, let's go with that, is that you weren't pulling your weight, or they weren't pulling their weight with that Three of Pentacles. And that's why conflict started. Somebody dropped the ball, and the other person, instead of trying to help pick it up, you drop the ball. So I think maybe either one of you are at a point in your life where you're like, well, I'm not going to pursue something and keep putting in effort when the other person's dropping the ball. Why would I do that? You didn't fight for this connection, or they didn't fight for this connection. That's what they're thinking. That's what they're feeling. So the Hermit card in reverse could indicate a couple of different things here. It could be talking about how they're feeling is you're very unreachable, or they need to be unreachable for you. So ignoring you, isolating you, maybe how they're feeling is like that's what they did to you, right? They isolated you, they avoided the issues, you kept going to them and telling them what the issues were, and they're processing how the ball was dropped, right? From the Three of Pentacles to the Hermit. And maybe and thinking about maybe it was you, like you were avoiding the issues, you were like freezing them out is what I'm hearing. So I kind of think this person is also feeling like they need to think more, or you need to think more about what actually unfolded, what happened, why it got to the point that it did. And I'm hearing toxic, like there might have been glasses being thrown, plates being thrown for some of you. It got really wild. They could be feeling like you were ignoring the advice of maybe like of a professional, or maybe they chose to ignore the advice of a professional. Either way, there was a lot of like chaotic shit going down in between the two of you is what I feel. And the Five of Swords is really confirming that, right? Hi. It's really suggesting to us how they're feeling is like conflict arose because of the deception. You both were playing dirty. You both took advantage of like bringing failure to each other is how they're currently feeling. I feel like this person either feels like you both are at fault, or they're at fault, or you're at fault. So this is a tricky situation, or a tricky kind of energy, because there's so many of you who are connecting with the reading. It's hard. Here, come here. Come. Good girl. Come give Mama cuddles. Yeah. Sit here like a little baby. Yeah, so the Five of Swords would indicate how they're feeling is maybe you were playing dirty, or they were playing dirty. You know, they could be feeling like you took advantage of them, or they took advantage of you. Maybe, you know, you were both being like really competitive. Like one would do something deceptive, so the other one would be deceptive. So I'm hearing tit for tat. They do something, you do something. Maybe this isn't even romantic. Maybe this is a friendship, right? So maybe this is more about two friends not taking each other's shit. You know, when one friend just expects another friend to just be at their beck and call, and then when the other friend says, oh, do you want to do something? Then they're like, no, I'm busy. But they'll only do stuff when it's on their time. That's also another energy coming through here, like a tit for tat bullshit. And I feel like you could be both self-sabotaging the friendship. I feel like, well, at least that's how they're feeling. They could be feeling like you're both self-sabotaging the friendship. You know, you're walking away. They could be feeling like they're going to walk away due to the unfair treatment of you, because the situation has gone on too far, or you're walking away from the relationship. But we're asking how they're feeling. So if this is a friendship thing, this person can't compete with your energy because you're not bowing down to them, is what I'm hearing, pile 3. They're going to walk away. They're going to just like act as if your treatment's unfair instead of taking accountability for their own. So that's a heads up. It definitely feels like friendship stuff. You know, this person, I feel like, is probably sitting there thinking you have a lack of ethics when in fact they're the ones with the lack of ethics. Because the Hangman also, with the overall energy there, can suggest, if it is a friendship thing, it's a stalled relationship, right? Like they're feeling like they're going to wait before taking action. They're going to wait before they do anything to see what you do. So it's tit for tat. I feel like you're both having like a Mexican standoff or something, and you're both not going to like take each other's shit, is what I feel, because the Five of Swords talks about backstabbing and bitching behind each other's backs as well. But it's also a card that talks about somebody not taking anyone's shit. Like you will tap into an argumentative energy to protect your own inner peace, to protect, like, you know, maybe if this is two friends, neither of you acting like sacred, like in the feminine energy, you're both acting very toxic here. You're both affecting each other's inner peace, or maybe you won't allow each other to affect one another's inner, like you won't allow that person to affect your inner peace and vice versa. So this is very juicy. It's very like, what the fuck's going on? So if you feel comfortable to share with us, definitely chuck it down in the comments, and we will we can gain a little bit more understanding. And that is what we've got for you, pile 3, and we'll see you next time. Bye.